punks do drugs and drink, hardcore kids whack everyone, indie kids also do drugs. These mainstream motherfuckers, like, they just want everything, they're spoiled. They just want like the best for themselves.
Everybody love nasi lemak, but why nasi lemak not a cuisine? Like, because we view the local stuff like it's not $5 only.
Drawn to a rhythm that pulses beneath the surface, a world unseen by most, but felt by those who seek it. This is more than music. It's a defiance, a culture shaped by grit and raw expression, thriving in the cracks of conformity. In this space, sound becomes a language of resistance. The edges are jagged, the voice is unfiltered, and every note carries a story of freedom and survival. Through the many voices of those who live and breathe it, we explore the fragile balance between art and rebellion. This is a reflection of a culture that dares to question, to create, and to say
Mainstream.
Mainstream.
The mainstream.
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 Have you listened to like local music before?
No, not really.
One of my favorite local artists is Shy.
I've listened to Regina's song.
Like one of the groups we listen to is Wormrot.
Recently on TikTok, Mila B, is it? I saw online, yeah.
So are there any reasons why you like their music, etc.?
Mostly because the current scene, to me, is not so like known yet lah.
I like the genre of the music that she creates.
When you hear the term underground music, do you have an idea of what it means?
Not really. Is it like indie rock?
Like emo.
I don't know what constitutes as underground in Singapore, honestly.
Do you think Singapore would ever play this kind of music on the radio?
Not really, because like they tend to lean more towards like pop songs now.
I feel like only like a certain of people like those type of music. But I feel like Singaporeans should be more like welcoming. So when you see like Singaporeans like doing it may seem like a little weird.
I feel like I cannot relate to that. If you enjoy something, then I think you should just enjoy it.
In terms of creativity, I think it needs more room for it to be able to grow. But I feel like maybe it's the government, I don't know.
Underground music in Singapore is a countercultural movement that thrives outside mainstream commercialism, spanning diverse genres like punk, metal, indie, and experimental. But what defines the scene differs from person to person, shaped by individual experiences and passions. To fully grasp the definition, we seek insights from different organizers, musicians, photographers, videographers, hosts, and more. Can you define what underground music is to someone who doesn't know anything about it?
A scene of music that is not displayed publicly.
I think the definition would be a bunch of people having fun without them caring about what anybody thinks.
Gigs that are mainly self-organized. They are often by people with an interest in the music scene. Either they themselves are musicians, they find others to form a lineup of bands, or they themselves are interested in this. Maybe they are fans who are approached to organize event by a band, and so they put together on their own. They put a venue, they do the lineup, do the artwork, do the marketing.
I like to describe underground as it's no man's land. Anything can happen.
What is it like going to a gig? I just tell them, I can't tell you, you just have to go for yourself.
When people come to a scene show for the first time, it's a feeling of like, oh, I didn't know it's like this here. Like there's a certain aspect of fun that is hard to describe in words lah. A lot of it is just misunderstanding lah. It's what you see, but you don't really know. Like the hardcore scene, people always say that they are just violent. It's just a culture. You know, crowd killing has always been there. Moshing has always been there. A lot of the people in the scene are all like different personalities and different types of characters. But when they are in the scene with people that are either like-minded or they just come to have fun, you really see like 100% of them what they truly are. Because it's a place where you just let go. You just do whatever.
Oh, these people probably don't have jobs, or like how can I make money and blah blah blah. But like all of these stereotypes stem from like society in general. Punks or goths or whatever, they look scary, but it's just their own self-expression and what they stand for. And if you go and talk to them, most of the time they're very nice people and they're very level-headed. So just being alternative in general, you don't even have to go for shows. You can have dyed hair and like the auntie down the street will fucking call you out for no reason, like auntie. But in actuality, we're just trying to express ourselves and push for a better world.
I feel like the worst part is now people don't ask.
Yeah.
They just want to assume and they just carry on with their life, but they don't really bother to ask anything.
If you like a band, or if you have a band, you just go out and do it. There are people in the scene who will help you. There are venues that will take you.
So like for example, Lithe Studio, you can just book the venue for a few hours, then you can just have bands play here. Without these spaces, there is nowhere else for us to play lah.
It needs to be run by people who genuinely care about what's going on with local music. So when big companies come in, they try to basically bankroll on the potential success of people, but without actually caring about what they do or why they do what they do.
It's not just important, it's the whole thing. Without organizers holding their own shows and doing their own thing, there wouldn't be a platform, because obviously you're not going to see some band from like say like IT or like RP, that kind of thing, play a show on like MediaCorp, you know what I mean?
So 3 months ago, around 15 of y'all came together to participate in this trend called Team TOMODACHI. Could you explain what exactly is this trend and what made you guys want to create your own version despite there already being an existing one before that?
Don't quote me on this, but I think Tomodachi means friends or something, right? Yeah. So the whole premise of the song is about me and my friends. Our version was actually a response to another version of Singapore's remix.
Damn.
Yeah. So we shall not name drop.
But it's not a bad thing, right? It's all in the name of like music and art and fun.
Yeah, we just felt that the initial remix wasn't an accurate depiction of what Singapore's scene is.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
that shit actually go hard, yeah.
Yeah, we shot it intentionally at Haji Lane and right in the heart of the city.
Team TOMODACHI, Team TOMODACHI, Team TOMODACHI, Team TOMODACHI. Di pulau temase, gorid all about it. Team TOMODACHI, Team TOMODACHI.
I think that's the moment I realized, like, yes, this is what it should be. You have the heavy hitters like Sapao and Omar Kenobi.
Diam bodoh, you better off playing dress up, hit a pose. On my dick, the way they show my love on the low. Lebih baik kamu tutup mulut. Ya rapper, macam rapper twat. Lain cara gua dan lu gerak. When rappers tryna represent for us, move aside, this the new anugerah.
I'm not sure how the video did, but from an artistic point of view, I had a lot of fun, in recording and this track and the MV. So yeah. If we want to classify what Tosh did with Zayden, we can look at it in one way, right? Oh, that's so gimmicky, it's only Chinese people, it's only Chinese rap, it's not really what Singapore is. And objectively speaking, that is true. It gave me a feeling of that 2018 vibe. Like, hey, you got other rappers, there are other rappers, but you only do y'all too. But if you ask me what I believe Singapore's true culture of music should be, regardless of hip-hop, it's this. It's the coming together of artists, despite of where you stand on the pecking order, and just creating because you want to represent where you're from and because you love the art form.
What do you think is the best or craziest moment that you experienced here from audience interaction or whatever?
You want to tell the story?
The craziest moment was when we got our first casualty. I was sitting outside doing the tickets and stuff, and suddenly this guy walks out. His face is bloody, his shirt is bloody, and I was like, what happened? And basically, I think he got sucker punched in the face, right?
So he was at the side there. Oh, I saw this in like first person view. I was like, oh damn! The crowd was like pumped, the music was loud, and like everyone was like starting the mosh pit and stuff. So a guy basically like just stray kind of left hook like that. It bumped his camera. His camera went up to his teeth, and like his tooth was chipped, like it just flew out. He got knocked out, like straight up. Like we had to carry him out because like he was just like blacked out. The guy ended up waking up, and he was like, "That was amazing." It's stupid shit like that. Like you will get injured or like punch in the face, and you'll be like, "I want to do it again." Like it's hard to describe it because like to an outsider, why would you ever enjoy getting punched in the face accidentally? But Islam also is like you are also with the crowd. You feel the energy that everyone's having, jumping around, moving around, and you're immersed in it. So sometimes you get hit, but you're like, it's never intentional. There's never like a bad intention behind it. Everyone's just having fun. So that was funny, man. Yeah, that was funny.
What are you guys expecting for this gig?
Oh, a lot of moshing. A lot of pushing. A lot of crowd surfing.
A broken leg.
Wormrot is a Singaporean grindcore band that formed in 2007 and amassed a great amount of support from the scene all over Southeast Asia since then. From a band born from the underground to touring in the US, Indonesia, and even Europe, we knew that we couldn't miss this chance.
My name is Rashid. I play the guitars for Wormrot.
I'm Zikry, playing drums for Wormrot.
Harif vocals. We've been around since 2007.
2007, yes.
2007.
Correct.
And this was the original lineup that we started with.
It was in some polytechnic. That was way back, and I saw my first ever grindcore band live. It's just that it's full of energy, it feels sincere. So I was thinking to myself, I like watching, why not creating my own?
Usually, what do you guys enjoy the most about the community for this kind of underground music?
Camaraderie. And also it's like, if you are in the underground scene, you are fighting someone like that's above you or in power. Grindcore might be protest music for some. I mean, like any music can be protest music. But for us, we vibe with grindcore. I guess we are not for the faint of heart, I guess. Like, our sound is abrasive.
It's always political, always. But I think it's redundant. We're trying to save the world, but the world is still the same. That's why in all of our past releases, first few albums is a little bit political because we are still venturing into the genre, trying to understand what is it all about and put it into our first few albums.
I guess how people connect also sometimes differs. Like, the lyrics might not be political. If there is an incident that mirrors it and you can make a connection, it is still a protest music. It might seem intimidating, like the music, the culture, all the black shirts that you're wearing. You know,
it's loud, it's rowdy, and majority of people don't like loud and rowdy. The only way is for them to have like an open mind, just come and see what is it all about actually.
What does being an artist in this underground scene mean to you?
Health-wise is very good because you can project whatever in real life situation you are facing. It's a very good temporary escape. And being a band in the local scene is just, we are somewhat contributing something lah. People get together, the whole community, and have fun and all that. That's the main point. I just chill and have fun now.
For me, it's always a fight to prove. A fight against all this like corporate stuff. There's a lot of people doing it in Singapore and they don't need any more corporate people. We need more artists. We are trying to prove that it is possible. Yeah, sure, the sacrifice is quite large.
Sacrifice is
fucking crazy. But it is, at the end of the day, possible and fucking worth it. It took us fucking, 15 years to get to where we are, and it's paying off. It's a middle finger to Singapore, basically.
Anything?
I knew This shy guy since 2007.
Singer-songwriters or like solo artists, they're more into like the pop, R&B, and that does well because it's mainstream. But for the underground scene, it's alternative for a reason. It's not for everyone. So like hardcore bands, they will always sing about like either like politics or like fuck the police or like corruption, about their own emotion and stuff, but you can't tell because it's like hardcore, it's like screaming and stuff.
And some people will say, I just come here to enjoy the music, I'm not here to enjoy the politics. Well, too bad. When the hardcore scene started in the 80s and 90s, it is because of politics. It's because people are tired of living in what essentially is a police state. The thing is that I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. That there are, in Singapore especially, there are not many avenues where you can voice out these opinions.
In KL, they get raided almost every show. My friends lose money. So when it comes to Singapore, like at least we can have these shows. And I think that like we need to appreciate whatever freedom that we have now, but at the same time also that doesn't mean we don't push for more. I think for like fans and bands, organizers, and all of us, like we need to make sure you take care of our spaces. If you don't take care of these things, there are going to be even more constraints.
Like this space is illegal. So is the places in Malaysia, in Johor and in KL. With the government and URA, constantly enforcing new laws and regulations and bringing them out into acts about fire safety and stuff like that, it gets even more harder.
How many licenses do you want us to sign up for just to put a show for 50 people? I think it's quite insane. So we were basically asking if there was a better and more streamlined way. And then the response that we got back was like, I'm sure there's a better way, but for now I think it's well regulated in Singapore. Hello, what do you mean?
More venues will be built also. Even though it's still Singapore, it's small, it's going to be the same people, it's going to be the same, I guess, organizers or whatever, right? The environment definitely plays a part in the experience.
Like, I can't play Boogies today, Tampines tomorrow, Bedok the next day, and expect to sell out all 3 shows, right? It's like, it's gonna be just maybe play once in Esplanade. Like in Singapore, how many fans realistically can they cultivate?
Government or whatever try to assert themselves more into the arts. The arts lose meaning.
If you're playing in public, they will ask you your set list and they'll ask you for the lyrics.
They like to see like if there's any cursing words, or if he's talking about government, police or whatever, they also don't like.
But I mean, that one got loophole lah, we just change
Yeah.
But to be honest, like for us to do that sucks lah. Like we need to change some of that stuff.
Because you're limited as to what I can say, and then you start second guessing when you're like during the writing session, oh, can I really say this? Can I really say this? You know what I mean?
We asked a few people to like listen to like your songs.
Yeah.
We asked a question asking like, do you think these songs will be played on radio? A lot of them said maybe or like no. Why do you think your songs won't be played on Singapore radio?
I want to be on the radio one day.
Maybe it's not so well recorded. So when it comes to practical things like getting on the radio, it's sometimes hard for certain music directors to pick up on it just because if you're playing something so well produced by Calvin Harris, then later you play a not so well produced song, like volume, quality, listenership. There are all these practical challenges that radio jocks or the music directors face. Yeah, and then if we're talking about, let's say, not radio, because maybe you don't think many people listen to radio, you think more people listen to streaming. Yeah, streaming's all good, but at the same time, when we're talking about streaming, because it's so accessible, there's lots of different music out there, right? When I search indie rock, right? I'm not just a Singapore artist. Even though I'm in Singapore, I can search indie rock that's global, right? And then Singapore's underground indie rock needs to be on par with the indie rock that I'm being served on YouTube or Spotify.
I think the quality is there, the greatness is there, the skill set is there. It's just that Singapore's the way they view local things. So there has to be a cultural change.
Local music, what's that? You know what I mean? So there's this common belief that, Singaporeans make very cringy music. We are trying to emulate what the West is. We're not simply copying them. It's inspiration for us.
Well, some people say that it's a post-colonial mindset, it's like always, we feel like, what's in the West is like kind of looked up to.
It's very stuck up. People here don't like to see other people succeed. But there's one key thing that Singaporeans love to do, and it's taking credit when an artist gains international notoriety.
We have a very Singapore problem whereby we expect our artists to do well first before we give them support, be it in mainstream or underground. But I do think that more can be done in terms of our approach and our perspective to what music is.
Because we are still limited by ultimately a 6 million population versus, let's say, somewhere like Thailand, which is 100 million.
Compared to other countries, yeah, they are super supportive, especially Indonesia. Indonesia is a super big scene. And I've went to their festivals and shows also, and the crowd was amazing. I wish we have that kind of support in Singapore as well.
A lot of times, a lot of artists that I know, we face a lot of self-doubt. Like, even though we've been doing this for a while, we feel like, damn, am I really that good?
The culture of listening to music and encouraging subgenres is not something that is really part of our nature. Here, maybe we haven't yet really in the mass market cultivated that like thirst for like discovering new artists. People like familiar, cool, trendy. My hope is that Singapore becomes a music nation. And I think to get there, right, there obviously has to be a unique selling point of our music. And I feel like the underground scene does really, it's like the progenesis of a lot of this sort of culture and sound.
People who come to shows, they just enjoy, right? But for us, there's a lot of things we have to do in the background. It's a passion, but then now we're also mixing business with it.
Especially in the underground scene, you don't make money. Nobody makes money in the scene.
It's a labor of love. And the thing is, like, the money really doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, obviously, but it doesn't matter when you see like your bands play. I think that's the struggle, but it's also the beauty in it also. I think that's why everyone does what they do.
I think music has been the soundtrack to every highlight and lowlight of my life. So in that sense, it's very important to me. And why I choose to do it, even though I have a daytime job, why not?
Creativity is not really appreciated. Singapore is all about economy and money and stuff, but it's not about the money, it's not about making a living, it's not about buying a BTO when you're 28. It's about being yourself.
Although it is flawed, this country is flawed, I will still rap it because I have one person who is from here and I'm from here. So it is my duty to rep this country.
It's not easy.
Which is why when we do this, we know the risks that come with it. But we still want to do it. Because if not us, then who? If not now, then when?
I don't know what success means, but I know what's the ideal life that I would want to have. If doing what I do, I can influence the younger generation to also want to pursue creativity as a career or as a passion, then I would have done my job as well.
The underground music scene in Singapore is a rebellious expression of creativity, thriving in defiance of societal norms and restrictions. In a city where artistic freedom is often limited, this scene provides an outlet for those who refuse to conform. From strict regulations on performances to the struggle for recognition in a mainstream-dominated market, the scene faces many challenges. Yet they persist, fostering a community of acceptance without judgment. Despite the obstacles, we learn that the scene continues to evolve, proving that music remains a powerful force for resistance, change, and connection.
Hey. Oh shit. Good morning, Woodlands.
Hi, my name is Zino De Costa. Hi, my name is Zino Tulian De Costa. One second, can I just do it again real quick, sorry. When it comes to, okay, wait up, okay, and after that, that's how, wait, what was the question again, my bad, I got lost.
What is real?
Fucking need to pee, sir.
Oh shit! Come and give him here.
Oh, you have to be like Spider-Man, bro, from the ceiling.
I don't know.
Some spicy, sir. You're gonna like a ceiling. I've been shaking my legs.
Yeah, Wormrot, and this is...
Wait, we are Wormrot and this is Fuck Misery.
Okay, so what?
Hi.
Fuck mainstream!